We're live, I'm hoping. Good day, this is Todd Standing. I am out at a dock. In case of those of you that don't know, I like to sail, and I like to do this live show. We're gonna do the live show right from, I'm on Vancouver Island today, and let's get into some questions. Let's have some fun. You guys are always amazing with all the fantastic live questions you ask. Don't worry about people wandering around. It's live show. I'm at a dock. It's Canada Day. Happy Canada Day for all the Canadians. Even happy Canada Day for everybody. Let's all be Canadian today. What the hell? So first I'm going to answer some questions from Facebook. Amanda says, have you heard any creatures give an alarm to warn the Sasquatch, and what sound would it make? Okay, well, no, I don't think, I think animals I know animals make alarm sounds, and crows make alarm sounds. Crows do certain actions when there's dead game or when I put food out, or so the animals there's always squirrels make chirping sounds, birds. Well, the worst was, that really ticked me off was the day I was filming I was trying to film some Sasquatch, and that black and white chickadee came out and really messed up my expedition. I think the importance of that question, there's a couple things in that it really, the alarms that if you're going to sneak up on a Sasquatch, which is pretty much impossible to do, unless you have I did it through snowstorms, horrible rainstorms, the snowstorm where you couldn't see your hand in front of your face, and I walked up a creek, so didn't leave any tracks, didn't leave any smell, because I'm walking up a creek, and I didn't get lost because I know where the creek goes. So, and I had the technology, that thermal, those special pants that you can wear that kept me, from freezing in really cold temperatures in winter. So, and I remember even how frustrating it was so many times. I remember I was really doing well into Sasquatch habitat, and remember I failed most of the time. I could go out into Sasquatch habitat and think I'm sneaking up on them, and they're watching me. So don't think that I'm ahead of the game or I'm more advanced than they are. It's really like 1 in 100 where I'm going to have any kind of success. But I was moving into their habitat, and a wolverine climbed up a tree and was being very aggressive with me. I was up in a tree, and I remember trying to just tell the wolverine to screw off. I was like, get out of here. I was doing what I can to just to make the situation go away, and he was predatorily, like I said, wolverine, he's not big. They're maybe 45 pounds. They're really aggressive, and of course you don't want a darn wolverine ripping out your leg. Like a badger can hurt you. Like, you don't want to get injured, especially out there. Who knows what the hell can happen? If he gets an artery or does damage, it's trouble. Anyways, the little bugger just wouldn't leave me alone, and I didn't have any bear spray at the time. I had bear bangers, and when I don't remember if I had bear spray or not. This is a long time ago. Maybe I just didn't want to bear spray him because it's really cruel. And he'd make so much racket, and I was talking to him so much. I knew that if there were Sasquatch around, they were certainly aware of me at that time. So I shot a bear banger at him, and that got him out of the tree, and he left me alone. But there's just everything. Deer make warning sounds. Deer act in a certain way. Squirrels chirp in certain ways. Everything. Like, I can't think, like deer, bighorn sheep, any prey animal, moose, elk. All the birds have different mannerisms and different ways that they can give alarms. The chickadee that gave me away one day that really ticked me off. It was a story about it in that search and rescue episode that's here on YouTube. But yeah, so it's I don't think the Sasquatch need any kind of alarm sounds. All the animals in the wilderness give alarm sounds. So that was Amanda's question that was up on Facebook. Let's see if I can see some other ones. The ones that have tracked you, do you think they live in caves or just in random places in the woods? I think they just, in the woods, in an area in the woods, they have a spot, and then I believe, just this is my theory, that they must cave up in the wintertime. But I don't think they stay in those caves. I think the wintertime is just, it's hard times for all animals that are surviving. Winter is just tough. So they do what they can to survive. They're going to need to be in caves, and even bears dig out huge dens, and so they could be digging out dens. They have big, powerful hands to do that. So there's a lot of options, but they definitely, wow, the wind just can pick up here. They definitely can go they have to go underground to stay warm. I just can't see them surviving outside. Julie says, welcome back. There's one human spirit emotion Sasquatch picks up on. What is it? That's a good question. So she's asking what human spiritual emotion Sasquatch picks up on. Well, I think I pick up on all, but I think I have the most success when I'm fun. I know I do. When I'm out there and I'm loving nature, I'm having a good time, and I'm telling jokes. See, people don't know that about me. Laughter, Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, funny stand-up comedians. That's my, George Carlin. I love that stuff. And you don't see that. I'm going to be candid with you guys. I had to take all that stuff out. We took it out of Survivor Man when I was being funny. We took it out of my movie when I was being funny, because people won't take me seriously. And the priority with this discovery isn't me making you laugh. There's plenty of funny guys out there. I'm nowhere near. There are many talented comedians out there. Go watch them. My priority, my number one thing is the discovery of Sasquatch. So people that know me know I'm a funny guy and I like to make people smile and laugh. I'm like a big kid. That's part of the success of this. Is I like to play. I like to have a good time. And the young, even talking about this is why I do this show with you guys. I think I just made a discovery. It's just me playing out there, me having a good time. The females don't come around me. Those females are not interested in me unless they want to come play. If they want, they want to be interested in me. And gosh, isn't that cool? The question really brought it out. When the big male comes around and he's being serious, I go home. That's not fun anymore, and I don't get success anymore. So hopefully everybody's hearing me really well. And because this is way out there, and the reception's really good. The signal's awesome. This is awesome. I was so, last week we had a crappy signal. I'm so happy that we're doing this, but that's probably why I get the young males, because I just I want to play. I want to have a good time, and the younger females are probably around too. They're sort of in the background. I'm starting to learn now more. The more that I learn about their softer, smaller, thinner tracks, So it's a discovery process, and I have a tremendous amount to learn. But I think that's a really cool discovery. I'm going to have to think about. What a good question. It just leads to this is why I do this show, guys. You know what the show is about. This is about us collaborating. These are brilliant questions, man. Update on the new movie. Oh, my life is I'm just getting my ass kicked. It's from Heath on Facebook. Oh my God, I get my ass kicked in the real world of things with so much stuff going on right now. I'm trying to, since you guys are so awesome, there's a couple of TV shows that are really interested in me now, and I'm taking those seriously. So I just won't do a fake show. There'll be no fake stuff at all. It's got to be legit and real. I won't lose my colleagues to do a fake show. That's what would happen. Survivor Man wouldn't talk to me anymore. Jeff Meldrum wouldn't talk to me anymore. And being here on Vancouver Island, I always want to say, in memory of John Bernardo. Love the man so much. So I don't think I can't be on Vancouver Island and think about Sasquatch and not think about the late great John Bernardo. What a wonderful man. So cool. Would you say, so this is from Leanna, would you say Sasquatch live in patriarchal society? So male dominated societies. I can't remember a patriarchal, matriarchal, I forgot about that. And it's male dominated. I feel very strong. I haven't seen anything other than to support that. We were talking about that before, though. We've gone into that a lot, and so it's still up for debate whether they'd be monogamous couples. I don't see that, but and then Julie asked me about telepathic ways of communicating. Yes, they are telepathic. I think we talk about that a lot. I hope that's not offensive to some people. I don't want to. This isn't paranormal, and I don't want this. This discovery is not paranormal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm offended by it being paranormal. People call me one of the top paranormal investigators in the world. I find that offensive. It's because it's not paranormal. Sasquatch are real. I find it offensive the way Native people, when you go and talk to them about Sasquatch, and they've seen it and they know it exists, and you look at them like they're crazy or like they don't know what they're talking about. It's offensive to their culture, because Sasquatch, Junaquah, Oma, Winchestatunga, I think that's a Sasquatch Native First Nations name that I've never heard anybody talk. It means tall teacher. I thought that was really cool. That was from the Nordic First Nations people, the people who live in the Nordic area. So anyways, and Winchestatunga, I got that bang on. So I say it perfectly, just to be respectful and make sure that I do that. Oh my God, I don't know if I can see the comments, guys. My computer screen it's out here in the shy. in the shine. So let's see what I can. Oh goodness, this is going to be difficult. I'm just going to wing it here. Jumbo SHI. Todd, do you think family group has specifically day watchers, or do you think they would alternate the role? That's a good question. They gotta alternate their roles, right? But wow, it's been a long time since I did work on that. I would think they alternate their roles, but I didn't see that. And how long were even the numbers and all those research numbers is really important for the science that I get this bang on. And I don't remember the research numbers. It's been so long since I was monitoring the day watchers, but we saw consistently a female in video 2 where the Sasquatch stands up. We were trying to film a female that we had seen, and every time they'd seen pieces of her, she was moving around. Even I'll tell you guys some stuff. So this particular day watch spot, excuse me, the Sasquatch stayed in the shadow of, when the sun moves, there's a shadow in the rocks and the trees or wherever they're by, and so they stay in the shadow of it. And that's highly advantageous for us to know that, because we're going to know where the blind spots are. So, and we use that, but as much as we could, we had difficulty seeing things, and we were in the shadows. Excuse me. We'd see body parts of her, and we saw breasts. So most of the time. But we really need more data, and there wasn't enough research data to maneuver and to make a real concrete conclusion. But we seem to see that one female in the one spot and only a male in the other spot. So yeah, that's all I know about that. So I say yes, really good. What for you do? SoCal Force Ninjas, hey, they're not paranormal but spiritual. Well, what I mean by paranormal is things that are just not accepted as normal, or even potentially not real, like unicorns. Is that, well, I don't know, is that paranormal? Aliens, but aliens, just I don't do aliens and stuff, but it's clear that the existence of aliens. I had to learn about aliens because in the field of paranormal, where everybody throws me, I do paranormal shows, and I got to hang out and meet with, specifically a surgeon who, my God, the evidence that he had, people's limbs getting cut off and pieces of metal he would find in them that were not from this planet. So, and just other things with the natives and stuff. But I don't do that stuff. I'm trying to stay on track with Happy Canada Day. Thank you, Ontario Cryptids. I enjoy all your work. Thank you very much, Sammy, Leah, Todd. The wind is too bad. To hear you. I'll try to cover up my microphone a little bit. I am outdoors here. I think it's appropriate that I do outdoors too, because, oh yeah, I can feel that wind on it. Hopefully that makes it a little better. What do we got here? Todd, do you have any thermal footage? Well, yeah, it's in my movie. And I love that thermal footage. The thermal footage was so authentic too. It was so, I don't know, you can't, the thermal experts that looked at that footage, specifically an Apache helicopter captain, when he looked at that footage, he was just impressed, because it was very linear, and even this guy did he was that helicopter operator. He was going back and forth doing the Canada-U.S. border, so he knew exactly what to look for with the Sasquatch, and I really trusted his. Well, I know it's an authentic Sasquatch. It was just nice to have that substantiated, is all. So we can hear you fine. Okay, good. Intuition and telepathy is very probable. Yeah, well, absolutely. Even there are things. I talked to some scientists about what it would take, why you would evolve telepathy, and things like in the mountains, high altitude, big heavy breather, less. They would be. When you're in the altitudes and in the mountains, I mean, we were calling the Sasquatch that we were studying Rocky Mountain Gigantopithecus. So, at altitudes, big heavy breathers, big heavy bodies, lots of oxygen. You're not going to be able to. You're going to have more difficulty communicating, I would think. And they seem to be built for that sort of terrain, and even spacing themselves out, and being patient and. My God, the Sasquatch, like, to be a great hunter, you have to be patient. To be a fisherman, fishing, you need patience. And the Sasquatch are just, I hope this works good for the sound. The Sasquatch are just, they're so patient. They're just, they'll spend a week in a spot, and it's it's mind-blowing how patient they are. Things come to them, and they just have time. They're never, even with me, I'm out on an expedition when I'm out for 7 days, maybe 10 days. I don't do much more than that. I've never done more than 10 and maybe 12 days when search and rescue went looking for me. I wasn't supposed to be out there that long, but there's always a time constraint with me. They have all the time in the world. They have no appointments. They they do whatever they want, and I don't know. And that's something that we delve into a little bit when we do expeditions. I tell people there's no watches. We just go by the sun. When the sun's half up, that's half the day, and we hike back the rest of the day. So it's a whole. We're so opposite from them. The immensity of how opposite we are, even though they're the closest living relatives to us, and they may actually, the DNA is a whole other ball game, but they're the most man-like primate on the planet by far. They're hominids. We're hominids. That's it. They're the only hominids, unless Homo floresiensis exists, but the Gigantopithecus or Sasquatch or Yetis are they're hominids, and they're the most man-like species on the planet. So, but we would you could lose yourself in that they're so much like us, but they're the opposite of us. Like civilization and wilderness are black and white. You must understand that. So when we need to get things done and we're quick and we have time constraints, they're extremely patient. They have all the time in the world. We like to walk on trails. They don't go on trails. They stay off the trails. Trails are very, very uncomfortable. Not to say they'll never be on trails. Of course they will from time to time. But they find them very uncomfortable. And the way a normal person would find the wilderness very uncomfortable. I enjoy going through the wilderness. I enjoy trekking backcountry. But I'm certainly not as comfortable as they are. They enjoy and love the wilderness and the woods. Like it's like their blanket of safety. And they're so in love with the wilderness. And I think that's just absolutely beautiful. Okay, I can see a little better. I think the clouds are coming in a little bit. Lola Gabriel. Hi, Todd. Have two questions. First, are day watchers all male? No. And second, do the day watchers... Oh, God, I lost you. Sorry. I couldn't get the second question because it's bouncing so much here. As a Native American, Big Brother has been around many years. Our elders speak differently about Big Brother. They are real. Some have powers to make you sick. They can make your head spin. You know what? Absolute respect. You're right. They can make you sick. They can make your head spin. It's infrasound. It's science, even. That's if you have if you're translating that as some kind of spiritual thing, it's not. It's an exceptional power that they have. But gorillas have infrasound. Lions apparently have infrasound. So it's and I have been hit with that, and you know what? It's incredibly. It's either extremely directional, or I'm more susceptible to it than. I went out with a partner, and a Sasquatch hit me with infrasound. I knew where it was coming from. I could feel it. I was even seeing the shadowy figures up on the ridge. He was hitting me with infrasound from probably 200 yards out, and it made me sick. I was crossing a river. I felt I kneeled down on the river and I put my hand down. I felt like I was going to throw up. It was, and I've had them do that before. So yeah, they can hit you with infrasound. But my partner who was with me, like she literally like gave me a arm up and was like, "What the hell?" Like I was almost throwing up. I felt like somebody had spun me around for 20 minutes, and it was infrasound, and they've hit me with that a few times. So. But yeah, so that's awesome. It's sort of what I love about that. I hope I'm being I know I'm being respectful. I'm immensely respectful of it. I just see that, you know, what I'm seeing is I'm seeing your elders, their genius is matching with science, and that's what happens with truth. Is you get science and you get your elders with their knowledge, and when you bring them together, boom, it matches. And I love that. That's what truth does. That's what happens every single time. I just did that Shay story, and the more I talk with Shay, the more it just does this, right? She's like, well, when I was in the hot tub and the Sasquatch came around, she calls me a little later or sending me a text. Oh, and I forgot to tell you I was singing. Boom, that sounds more authentic to me. So, and there's more that the more I talk with anybody, the more the truth comes out, the more it just keeps matching. Or if something kind of sits outside a little bit, I look at it as now a potential truth, a potential something. If this is truthful, if I'm seeing significant truth in it, and then there's things that I don't even. There's when there's more to it, then that's part of the discovery process, right? That's an outlier that I have to go look for. If I see truth, it leads to more truth, and that end resultant is something that I'll look for. I hope that makes sense. It's like tracks, bear tracks. You know, I see that they're in the black bear tracks. They're pokier because the black bears have nails like this because they grab their prey. So I see a black bear, and I see that the paws, the paws are identical in black bears and grizzly bears, except maybe the grizzly bears are bigger, brown bears are bigger at a certain point, but black bears can get big too, really big. You could have a 600-pound black bear, 600-pound grizzly. The way you can tell the difference, though, is the black bear has those grabby claws because he's much more predatorial, and the grizzly bears have the long claws. The point is, when I see a grizzly bear and I see long claws, and the grizzly bear have long claws because they love marmots and they dig. They're big diggers, huge diggers. Even the brown bears up in Alaska and the Kodiaks, they have that big hump on the back, and they're built for digging. So, anyways, the point is, it's substantiated in the tracks. It's substantiated in their ecosystem and how they survive. Black bears are much more predatorial. If a black bear latches on you, he's going to latch on you, and black bears can climb up until much later in life. Even, I think, probably their whole lives they can climb until their claws get dull when they're really old, because their claws are always like this. And a grizzly bear, when they're babies, their claws are like this, but as they get older, they open up like that because they can't climb anymore, or if they do, they climb poorly. I can't actually. Gosh, I've seen sow grizzly bears. You can't. There's no universal thing in nature. I saw a sow grizzly bear that she looked like she was like, older. She looked like, I thought she was at least 7, and I saw that sow fly up a tree like a monster, like just rip up a tree. So, and then I was charged by a sow grizzly bear, and she was a sow grizzly bear. Even I'm going to talk about this. So, I'm hiking back from an expedition, and I'm happy. I'm enjoying myself. I love nature, and I get a feeling. And this is back when I was really learning to trust my feelings, and I felt uncomfortable. I felt something is bad. Just the hair was standing up on the back of my neck. I felt danger, Will Robinson. So then I see a sow grizzly bear with her cubs. And normally I wouldn't be terribly concerned. I just react and handle the situation. But since I was feeling danger, and the bear there looked like nothing wrong with her. She was just walking along. She had her cubs there. And I thought, get my butt up a tree now. So I did. And I got my butt up that tree as fast as I could. And I'll tell you, just when I was at the 8 or 9 foot point, she hit the bottom of that tree, and her jaws were like snapping. I swear, like slobber hit my foot. I heard snap, snap. Like there was no bear spray that was going to stop her. If I didn't climb that tree, I'm sure I would have been killed. That's good instinct. But the point is, you never know what the hell. Like her body language, it was my feeling that told me to do that. And why didn't she climb up the tree after me? I tell you, she was digging on that tree and ripping on it. So, and she looked like a younger sow. She looked maybe, 5 years old, 4. So, anyways, I don't know why she didn't climb that tree after me. She didn't. She looked like she wanted to kill me, and she was so voraciously trying to attack me. So, but she didn't. And then I think, well, female grizzlies can't climb a tree at 4. And then I see a 6-year-old fly up a tree. So, the point is, these lessons that you learn are not they're not universal. You got to take it step by step. I just got a donation. Thank you so much for whoever donated. That's awesome. Make sure you go to Amanda will put up a thing. Go to northbigfoot@gmail.com, and I'll send you some downloads and stuff. Anybody who makes a donation, I'm on Patreon, and my movie's on Amazon Prime right now. It was just on Netflix before. The 2-year contract for Netflix is out. Now it's on Amazon Prime. It's also on YouTube, I think, if you watch commercials. So, but I have more stuff, my mini doc and other things I don't talk about that I'm sharing with people who make donations, because I'm very, very grateful for that. I am a full-time Sasquatch researcher, thanks to you guys that make donations, that watch my YouTube videos and let the commercials play. I know it's hard times for so many people right now. If you can't afford to make a donation, do not. If it's not easy for you, don't do it. But yeah, thank you so much for the donation. If you have a question here too, Amanda, I can't see the thing is just flying here. with all the questions. But if you have a question, just go to Facebook. I'm very grateful for the donation. It really helps move this discovery process forwards. I love that there are people, people make gorilla donations, people make ocean donations. Do that when you're passionate about that. But you know what? There is enough to go around, and I really do Sasquatch research. And if you guys really care about this research, like I'm out this year. I'm having a hell of a. I should also mention too. So many of the Americans can't come out this year, which is it just sucks so badly. As a Canadian, I can go to the United States, but Americans can't come here. And if they open it up, they're going to only allow. You're going to have to come in quarantine in Canada for 14 days, and that just screws us because the expedition is only 7 days. Most people can't do that, and I'm not doing 14-day expeditions, so I don't know what the heck we're going to do. But Canadians are going to get special deals now, I guess, just because I have to do my expeditions, and all the Americans that got 80% of my expeditioners are Americans. I'm speechless with how upset I am about it. It sucks so badly that they lock that damn border down. They just don't seem to care about all the businesses and all the damage that it's doing to people. But anyways, I don't want to get into the controversy of the coronavirus stuff, but it's really devastating. It's heartbreaking because there's so many awesome people I was so excited to meet, and these people they affect me. It affects me when I talk to people for months and months. People that bought expeditions for Christmas. They got them as Christmas presents. What is that? 9 months, 8 months ago, So and they were coming in August and July, and now they can't, and it's just heartbreaking because I built wonderful relationships. I get as excited as they do. I pick my expeditioners, and I pick amazing people, and we get really excited, and all the expeditioners, all of them have a major contribution to make to this discovery, and it's devastating now that they are not able to come out this year. So and the damage is done. It just sucks. People lost their jobs. The United States is just getting their ass kicked, and it's really upsetting. My honest to God, I want the U.S. to get organized, and I hope you guys get this figured out, because it breaks my heart to see. I don't even feel like I feel like a North American. I'm so connected to the United States. Like, we're so part of this discovery. The people in the United States are so amazing. Hello, Todd. Are you looking for interspecies communication? Yes. So quickly to the question, because I just saw Amanda talk. Yeah, interspecies communication is huge. Actually, not just interspecies communication though. Remote viewing, but someone like Amanda, what was her name? Anna Bachman. So I was trying to work with her, and then there's some other people that I've been talking to. But how's my computer doing? Once my computer dies, the show is over. Just so we know. But yeah, that would be amazing. Someone who could really kick some ass with that. And the interspecies communicator, see, there's so many questions I have too. Like how Anna, there's a video on my YouTube channel where I talk about Anna, and I have her up on a section of her up, because what she does is just miraculous. And I've been talking and been mentored by interspecies communicators. But I'm not afraid. Just it's northbigfoot@gmail.com for the people that gave donations today, and some questions. I'm gonna get inundated, but it's okay. I don't mind. I'll make some time this week to look it over. Yes, interspecies communicate, and through Facebook you can also message me. I'd be very interested in talking with that. I try to work with that. The chat room's open after, so go chat it up, guys. Phil and Amanda run that chat room, and they watch every show. They are right and left arm. So when they answer a question, it's coming from me. So there it is. See, look at Amanda, Anna Breckenbach. I don't even have to think. Amanda thinks for me. Thank you so much, Amanda. So interspecies communication includes bird calls. They love to do bird calls. Really? Huh. Interspecies communicators doing bird calls. You know what? Maybe that's part of the scope of practice, but it's not what I'm looking for. I don't want somebody that's gonna deduce calls. I want somebody that, like what Anna did. I mean, if you saw, it's Diablo, the panther thing. The stuff that she was deducing, man. If I could get that kind of information out of a Sasquatch, where they want this, do this, I really feel this discovery, honestly, it's like you're trying to find stuff in the dark. You're so blind as to what's going on because the Sasquatch are so dominant 99.9% of the time, and you're trying to figure out what they see. Amanda put up the link. You're awesome, Amanda. I knew you were going to do that. But you know, it's to get that information, because it's so perplexing. The Sasquatch, because it's even frustrating, because in radium, when I first come around, they get really excited and then they just stay away from me. And I know they're around. I think they're around, and they'll let them be seen, but it's like they get really excited when I come, and then they distance themselves, and it's like they calm down and they get patient again. And I really want to move forward. I want to move to the next level. Can I give the Sasquatch, can I put an apple? I guess I wouldn't want to take it from my hand. Can he come sit down on a log 40 feet away from me and communicate with me? My native teacher told me that when I was ready and when I got to that level, my native teacher who's passed away told me that when I get to that level, that he'll translate for me, because the Sasquatch that I was studying in that particular area at the time, not the radium Sasquatch, the Alberta Sasquatch, more closer to Nordegg, he said he would translate for me because they'll speak Old Cree, you know. So but I haven't gotten to that level where I wish I would. I wish he left so much mystery in what he was doing. So anyways, it's all good, V. We're on the same page, Todd. It's our mission, and I know no matter what, it'll be great. Yeah, we are on the same mission, aren't we? I really want to project that. I want to empower all of you. Just kneel down for a second, and I got a sword, and I'll knight you all. Like, go out there and, you know, tell people that this is our documentary, Discovering Bigfoot. These are the episodes of Survivorman Bigfoot. This is our YouTube channel for Sasquatch. So we call it I called it Sylvanic Bigfoot. I don't call this stuff the Todd Standing stuff. It's the Sasquatch stuff. It's the Sylvanic. Sylvanic means shadow guarding the mountain. This is for us. So that's you know, that's the cooperation that we build, and any success. That's why I'm the heavyweight champion of the world with this, because you can't beat me. You go prove Sasquatch exists and I win. So I got my bratty sister over here trying to make me laugh, but anyways, I'll keep asking questions. Go to the south side of Lewis Nemesary Valley. They go there along the river that goes to the other side. Thank you for that information, and yeah, you can make sure you send that to us. Hi, Todd. Eddie from Maryland. We had an encounter here in the woods recently. That is so cool, Eddie. I'd love to hear more about it. Oh, and actually, the better email address is bigfootencounter@gmail.com. Eddie, please, and the gentleman I just read a second ago, we need to hear about your encounters. So please, and go to the chat room and chat it up. If you impress Amanda and Phil, it comes to me. Amanda can go, hi Todd, I'm impressed with this guy I saw in the chat room. Need you to talk to him, and I will talk to you. So that's how you get to me, is through Amanda and Phil. So impress them, and they're very busy. They work really hard on this stuff, and they're smart, honest, good people. If they're impressed, I'll be listening. Oregon is your next expedition. How long? Yeah, I don't know. Kelly's asking me, Oregon are your next expeditions? How long so I don't know what's going on with the virus. I check on the stats all the time, because it's you know, it's just, it breaks my heart with all the stuff going on in the U.S. that you guys are getting slammed with this terrible virus so badly. But I check on it. It's not my decision. I have nothing to do with it. I wanted to take precautions. I wanted to have expeditioners out here, but my boyfriend can talk to animals. He might be as good as Anna, but he talked to spiders, cats, dogs, chickens. That's awesome. Well, you know, friend me on Facebook. Send me a message. Bigfootencounter@gmail.com. And Amanda's got here, there you go. Click that button that Amanda just said to submit your report. That's the best place to go. Hey Todd, love the work you're doing in Bigfoot. I have a question. Do you think that the Navajo people taught Bigfoot how to speak? No. I've never seen any evidence of anybody teaching anything to a Sasquatch. I'd say the reverse, but maybe the Navajo taught the Sasquatch the Navajo language, but language itself would be something a Sasquatch would learn just to communicate with people. Hopefully I feel some wind here. I don't see, I'm telling you guys, like, the Sasquatch, they don't want fire, they don't want technology. You know, I don't know anything I could ever give them or teach them other than to ask them to come help, you know, the planet, help make the world a better place. They're a part of it. And, you know, so whatever, I couldn't think of a darn thing. They don't want any technology, no access, no fires, no toilet paper, no hand sanitizer. I guess I do joke sometimes on this show, right? So, Todd and crew, first question: when you come to the next level, if you do come to the next level from New Mexico, MLR. Well, that's awesome. Thank you. New Mexico, man, can you imagine there's probably Sasquatch? And I have to say probably. I'm very impressed with the work that's coming out of New Mexico, and I'm quite convinced there are very likely Sasquatch in New Mexico. It's very uncomfortable for me to say that, but it's beautiful there. I hear lots of reports, lots of really hard-working, authentic people out there, and that's amazing. I have no idea what your schedule is like. I sent email before about my encounter, the end of last month, 14 years since my first encounter. That's awesome, Stephen. And congratulations, you have that Sasquatch energy. Have you ever heard or seen an entire tree being upside down in the ground? Yes. Just the roots. Yes. Above the ground. Well, isn't that in my documentary? It's in a Survivor Man episode, that's for sure. Yeah, they do that. They jam trees upside down, and it's crazy the power that, like, when I showed it to Survivor Man, the one that was in the episode of Survivor Man Bigfoot, you gotta understand, like, this tree is rammed into the ground with such force. If there's no machine that could have done that wouldn't have left marks. There'd be bash marks on the top. I believe the Sasquatch, because I was around for a tree that was jammed into the ground. So I walked down a trail, I heard the Sasquatch, they got a little crazy, made lots of sounds, and I heard a tree make an odd sound, but I didn't hear a bang, bang. What I think they do, and this is crazy, this is what will scare you more than anything, I believe they grab the side of it and jam it down into the ground. So there is not, when I say there's not a machine that could bang that log into the ground without busting up the top of it, I don't think there's no damage on the top, because I don't think the Sasquatch bang it down. There's little roots and there'd be some kind of mark of some kind. I believe they grab the side of the tree with their incredibly powerful hands and jam it, thrust it in the ground. That, I can't even, like, it doesn't make sense. There's two things that are going on there that are immensely important. And I'm sorry, this is gonna get a little paranormal. They seem to know where the ground is soft. I've seen a Sasquatch, they'll do a rock stack, and what blew me away, I was with a very brilliant man, now it's getting windy. What blew me away is they picked the rocks up out of the ground, but they didn't dig them. They didn't dig around for them. So imagine you're a person, I'm a human being, and I'm gonna make a rock stack and I'm gonna rip rocks out of the ground. There's sphagnum moss covering everywhere. This is in Nordic, so there's sphagnum moss all over the place. I'm gonna be digging around, I'm gonna make a mess everywhere, looking for rocks. The Sasquatch reached into the ground and pulled them out. How do they know where to reach into the ground? There's not rocks everywhere. They're randomly spread all over the place. I tried it, I did a little experiment. I actually couldn't find rocks, even the rocks were all approximately the same size. Pulled them right out of the ground, all within, 20 yards, and stacked them. How the hell do they know exactly where to pull the rocks out? That doesn't make any sense. And what was my second point? I forgot. Anyways, so to jam that log in the ground, it's not just that crazy immense power. If you jam it into the ground, there's a big rock there, that tree's gonna split and get busted. What if sometimes there's a huge rock in the ground? How do they know that space was the right space to jam it? Do you understand? See, when we're moving forward with this discovery process, we need to go to the next level. Not just that the tree was jammed in the ground. Go do the experiment. Try to jam a tree in the ground upside down. You'll hit rocks. This is the Rocky darn mountains. Rocks everywhere. So how do they know that soft spot? Because if there's no soft spot, Sasquatch aren't fifth dimensional travelers. I don't buy that at all. They're just organic, real, amazing beings. So And there's so much more that goes into that. It's such an intricate, deep rabbit hole, knowing not just they jam those logs in, they're so powerful, but they do it in the right spot. That's where the rabbit hole is. And that's where you get the genius of this species. That is next level stuff. And these are facts that just can't be denied. They're doing it over and over again. How are they jamming these trees in the ground in the exact right spot? That's the jamming of the trees. Impressive, powerful. We see that. We get it. They're giant. They're 900 pounds, 9 feet tall or bigger. It's crazy how powerful they are. Over twice as strong as a gorilla. But then the next one that doesn't make any sense is how are they knowing where to put it? And I'm starting to understand those things. I'm starting to see that on multiple levels of how they just are almost like a human metal detector, right? So, and it's when you're dealing with this species, it's that next level stuff that you got to understand. I can't prove they're real yet, or I can prove it, but I have the DNA and I have the superficial evidence. I have the circumstantial evidence, but I'm not sitting down here going, "Hey, this is Jake. How you doing?" Right? We're not at that level. I don't have my footage is. I'm really happy with my footage. I think the Patterson footage is amazing. There's a piece of footage that can be filmed because Sasquatch are real. That'll prove they exist, and I'm not there, am I? Nobody's there. So that's a goal, but I'm not there, and there's a good reason I'm not there, because I haven't earned my stripes. I haven't got to that level yet, and if I don't get there, I certainly hope somebody does. Somebody's got to. So let's do some questions. I'm almost out of battery power here. So how long? I don't even know how long into the show this is, but thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. You guys are so amazing. I'm just pulling random questions out. You guys are awesome. Sasquatch know stuff, and humans know stuff only because it's needed to know. I know what you're saying, Eddie. I get your vibe. Tammy says, I would love to have a Sasquatch investigation come to where you live and check it out. We have friends that live. See, and I'd love to do that so much too, Tammy. But my God, the amount of, I shudder to think I just can't go from spot to spot because it's taking me how long? I've been where I am since at least 2008. So it's 12 years in one spot, and I still haven't got it done. I still need to do more. So if I come to your spot, it's like ground zero. I've built up this enormous success and this fantastic. I take people out, and we have 40% of people see a Sasquatch on my expeditions. It's crazy numbers. So that's so happy about that. Going anywhere else, all I would do in those circumstances, I need this discovery done. I can't be finding Bigfoot all over the place and looking. It's not real. You lose the respect of good scientists because that's not real research. You're just being a flighty little. I need to be laser focused on that one thing. I need to be cutting and making this discovery. And yeah, Morris says you said something special that the Sasquatch can sense you. Oh my God, yes, the Sasquatch can. I'm not able to talk about it yet. It's coming to an end. I'm having just lots of personal crazy stuff that everybody's going to know about as soon as I'm legally allowed to talk about it. But my energy has shifted from real personal issues, and now I'm not funny. Now I'm not so much the crazy, kooky young guy. And the Sasquatch sensed that, and I got less success because of it. So it's very real. They really, and I was hoping they would come and help heal me, and they don't do that. They're not doing that with me. So they just want me to be fun. They want me to be jovial and act like a little, like a young kid, and that's where I get my success. And so yes, absolutely, they can sense your energy. No doubt in my mind about that. I just watched a video of Bigfoot throwing 175 tree before. I saw that too. I saw that. Hydraulic equipment 200 times stronger than a human. I saw that, Joseph. I actually, I hate to say it, but I saw that way in the beginning. Those guys, it's in Fort McMurray that happened, and it was a native man that shot that footage. That, if you're talking about the same one, and a bunch of people have done reviews on it and stuff, which are really cool. But yeah, that's fantastic. How's it going, Keith? So yeah, Chase, I know you believe Sasquatches live in troops, but do you think different troops rival each other? Ooh, what a good question. Oh, crap. Just bumped the computer there. Man, that question really made me think. Do different troops rival each other? I don't know. Troop wars? Oh my God! I know that that I was around when a male Sasquatch challenged another male to take over the group, Jake's dad. So that happened, but yeah, I don't know. There must be competition between them, huh? Like chimpanzees. Do gorillas do that? I really don't know. That's a deep question that I just I can't even theorize about that. That would be. Can you imagine like troop fighting? What do I know? I know that in Morley, a troop dissolved and died away and deserted the area, abandoned it. What happened was there was a male there, and he had his female, and he had 3 children. And he died. I'm sure he died. He wasn't around anymore for 2 years, and the younger Sasquatch, who was maybe, let's say, 5 years old, so his dad probably died when he was maybe 2. So he was 5, he was being a brat. He wasn't listening because he had no father figure in his life. And children need fathers. It sure makes a big difference. I'm sorry. Children need mothers. Children need both parents. And it's really important that they have that, especially, I think, with the Sasquatch. It's a family unit. We have family units for a reason. If we can have a family unit, for goodness sake, have a father and a mother, please. People, try to get along for the sake of the children. Anyway, and that little kid was being a brat. And then eventually they just left that area. They didn't come around Morley anymore. That family unit was pushed back, and logging came in. And what happened to them? Were they assimilated by another troop? Or, I don't know. Loss of habitat equals loss of life. Why didn't they just move? Why did they stay there so long? It seemed to me like they had no place to go. And I would deduce based on, like, they were not staying there by choice. And until that logging came in and totally decimated their territory, decimated all their food, they didn't leave. They should have left a lot. So based on just that information, I would say she was not able to assimilate. And it was I'm assuming the mother was the new was the dominant one, because she had a teenage son, a daughter, and an infant young male. So that's just yeah. So I would, based on that, I would think there is some kind of competition in troops. Something's going on there. So good question. Man, you guys are awesome with your questions. Just always making my brain work. Stings, and I love it. I'll have to think about that some more. What a freaking awesome this is why I do this show. How can I do this show week after week? It's because you guys are bloody hell amazing with these questions that are... I even have to take notes and write this stuff down, because what do I know about troop competition? What have I seen? I've also seen tree breaks. Okay, this is to do with... I was in the hella middle of nowhere. And what I've seen a couple times is, I believe they use rivers as territorial boundaries, because I've seen tree breaks pointed at one direction of the river and tree breaks pointed at the other. These were not for people. When I see tree breaks and I show them on Survivor Man and in my movie, those are tree breaks made for human beings along trails. So when I see those tree breaks, well, these guys are going to be making lots of noise. When I see tree breaks in the hella middle of nowhere on each side of the river, I'm thinking that's 2 Sasquatch troops saying, don't come here, right? So more potential evidence of troop competition. So I guess I had to think about it. There is some stuff I've been really grinding my gears about. But anyways, that'll be our show for today, guys, with all this. The marina's just kicking up right now with all these sounds. I thought it was Canada today, it was going to be quiet. But thank you so much for these awesome questions. You guys are freaking amazing. You guys need to go to the chat room. I see there's so much going on here. So many fantastic questions. Go to the chat room, talk it up, impress Phil and Amanda, and get those 2 talking, and everything will come back to me. You guys were amazing. I'd like to think of Canada Day like St. Patrick's Day. Everybody can be Canadian today and celebrate, I don't know, maybe what's Canada special for? Maybe multiculturalism and getting along peacefully in the world. Maybe winter. I love that about Canada. I consider myself a Northman, and we love winter. And I hardly ever say do I? But I'll say the joke. How do you spell Canada? C-A-N-A-D-A. Happy Canada Day. You guys take care of yourselves, and I'm going to try to shut this down somehow. And I will see you guys. There'll be Throwback Thursday. You guys are gonna have to wait for that a little bit. I can't even see how to turn this off, and I'll see what happens.